Hey there, guys. This is a response video to another YouTuber, my boy Michael Barrera. Check out his stuff. I put a link in the description below. We actually did a collaborative video, the last video I put up. Pretty long video, but check it out. We do some really cool stuff on there. He did his top 10 favorite independent wrestlers, and he kept it narrow. He kept it to the guys he's seen live in person. I kind of threw the net a little wider. It's just top 10 independent wrestlers everywhere. So this list, you know, is probably going to get revisited and remade, similar to my Hall of Fame video. Hopefully some of these guys will be in the majors here shortly. So without any further ado, here we go.
Number 10, a tie between Jonathan Wolfe and Cole Radrick.
If you watched my last video, the collabo with Michael, you'll know that one of the matches between these two guys was in our top 10 favorite matches of the last year. These two are just incredibly young, gifted wrestlers. You know when you can see a guy and you can think, hey, that guy's going to make it. Whenever I first saw these two wrestle, I immediately thought that. It's not a question of if they make it to the big time. It's when. You know, and I'm just going to be so happy when I see them, you know, make it to Ring of Honor or TNA or NXT and go, hey, I used to go and watch those guys down at the Outlaw Arena with about 100 other guys in a small little building in Indianapolis when they were super young, and I'm just I cheering for these guys, not just their work, but to see them make it.
Number 9, Drew Skills.
The first time I saw Drew Skills, I saw him at a local show, a Circle City Wrestling show. He wrestled Rhino that night. And I had never seen the guy. I'd heard the name before, and I noticed several people in the crowd sporting Drew Skills t-shirts. And I thought, well, he must be pretty, the people seem to like him. And as soon as he walked through the curtain, I wouldn't say I was an instant fan, but my thought was, if this guy can wrestle, I am sold. Because he has the thing that one of the things you can't teach. You can build yourself up in the gym. You can teach yourself moves. But presence is something you have it or you don't, and you can't teach it. And Drew has presence. When he walked through that curtain, my jaw dropped. I was just like, man, this guy's got the look. He's an incredible performer when he gets in the ring. He hasn't got like the flashiest of move sets, but he's got great ring psychology. He has got a great look. He had a couple of matches with ROH back in the day, but he's on the cusp. He's right at that perfect age. He's had enough time in the business to build up everything. He's right on the cusp. I hope that some bigger company gives him a look here soon, because he would be a tremendous ad for any roster. He'd be a great star once he gets the spotlight on him.
Number 8, Matt Riddle.
For those of you that know me personally, you're probably surprised that Matt Riddle shows up on this list. Originally known as a UFC guy, he was on The Ultimate Fighter. I'm not a big MMA fan. A lot of you may know. I love pro wrestling. Tried to get into UFC in those first few years, and it just didn't float my boat. It didn't entertain me. But Matt's wrestling, even though he brings in that MMA style, he also brings in the catch as catch can pro wrestling ethos. He's not someone who comes in and okay, I'm here to legitimize a company or legitimize this fight. He brings a pro wrestling. He does the job when necessary to further a story. Um, he's the current Progress Atlas champ. He was the Monster Factory heavyweight champ at one point. Um, Deep Waters entertains me, especially on the mic. He's got incredible mic skills, and it's just because he's just an entertaining, fun-loving guy. There's a couple of mini docs on the Evolve YouTube channel. You should go check those out. He's just entertaining, and his in-ring work is incredible. Um, Him working with Evolve, uh, rumors always have had he's definitely being looked at to be brought to NXT. They definitely have an eye on him, and so he might come up anytime.
Number 7, Marty Scurll.
The Villain has worked for nearly every British wrestling company, from Progress to Rev Pro to Insanity, and he's held the title everywhere he's went. He held tag belts with Zack Sabre Jr. He just signed to ROH, so I know some of you are out there saying he's not an independent wrestler anymore. He's still doing some indie work, so I'm going to count it. And he is the current ROH TV champion. So he's definitely on the upswing. Watch this guy. He is, prototypical heel, perfect villain. I mean, he, using that as a nickname, almost the hubris of using the Villain as your nickname. You gotta be pretty bad, and he is. He's a great heel. The crowd just loves to hate him, and when he has made a couple of face turns, the crowd, instantly just jumps on loving him because he's a great wrestler. Um, so if you get a chance, watch, he's on ROH right now. Watch ROH and look back at some of his past work. He's just a phenomenal wrestler.
Number 6, Jason Kincaid.
The Gift has owned Southeastern independent wrestling in the States for the past few years. In Smoky Mountain, he was the Southeastern champ for a record long time. He was the SMW champ at one point. He's held several light heavyweight championships across that territory and region. I saw that he got a couple of tryout matches with ROH here a while back. So I'm really hoping that that's a route he would be a good fit for ROH. He'd be a good fit for anywhere. He's an incredibly gifted wrestler, incredible heel in that he uses a lot of high-flying maneuvers, which a lot of your heels don't do. They might have it in the repertoire, but they hold back because the crowd's going to just love it when they do that. Kincaid is able to pull those moves off in such a violent manner, I guess you'd say, and against the true baby faces, that the crowd, even though they love, oh, yay, 450, oh crap, he just killed one of our favorites, and they hate him for that. So even though they enjoy the ring work, they still hate him because he's really beating up on their favorite guys. And I would love to see him get into the Cruiserweight Classic this upcoming year. They're definitely going to have to throw the net a little wider. I don't know if they're going to bring, if they're going to use the guys that are in the Cruiserweight division in the Classic next year, or if they're going to bring in a whole new group. No word yet as to what's going to go on there. But if they're going to bring new guys, Kincaid is definitely someone I would like to see.
Number 5, Sami Callihan.
The Callihan Death Machine is a legend in Combat Zone Wrestling. He held many titles in CZW, including the Iron Man, the Ultra Violent, the light heavyweight title, and he was Best of the Best winner in 2012. An Insanity Pro World Champ one time, and he held the West Side Extreme Wrestling tag titles with Jon Moxley, aka Dean Ambrose. I think Dean's how he got into NXT. You might remember him from those days as Solomon Crow for a couple of years. He just never seemed to really, get that NXT crowd over. I don't know why. He's an incredibly gifted wrestler. The matches he had on NXT were really good, like he always has. He couldn't get over with that crowd. So I went back to the independents, and he's once again having a phenomenal time. He's on Lucha Underground as Jeremiah Crane. And the Callihan Death Machine just keeps on rolling on. And I would love to see him get back into the majors at some time, but I would be very surprised if WWE gave him a look again, and if he came back again after the time he had there.
Number 4, Solo Darla.
If you watch my favorite women wrestlers video, you'll know I'm a big Solo Darling fan. She was in my honorable mention segment in that video. Ever since I first saw her, I just fell in love with the whole gimmick, the whole look. Her in-ring skills are getting better. She's not the best, but she's still fairly new in the business, so definitely room for improvement. Her promo skills are on point, though. She's cut a couple of promos on Veda Scott that had me in tears. I was laughing so hard. Like I said, the whole gimmick. Right now, the new thing, if you've seen any of her latest matches, she has a Tootsie Roll pop that is about that long. The Tootsie Roll, the sucker part of it is like as big as your damned head. It's the first time she brought that out at a Women of Honor event. I was like, that is perfect. That is the sugar creature. She would have a Tootsie Roll that big. She would enjoy and need a Tootsie Roll that big. And her YouTube channel, go and check it out. Funny workout videos. She's got one where she's curling and she's got donuts on the curl bar and she's taking bites of them as she does curls. It just the whole gimmick just makes me laugh, and her in-ring work is getting better by the day. So in a few years, she's going to be just one of the top women. Rumors have it that the WWE is doing a women's tournament, like the Cruiserweight Classic and the UK tournament that just wrapped up. And she is on the list of ladies they're looking at. I would be so happy to see that.
Number 3, Zack Sabre Jr.
The Technical Wizard is one of the best wrestlers in the business today. Former Rev Pro World Heavyweight Champion, a West Side Extreme Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. He is the current Pro Wrestling Guerrilla Heavyweight Champion, and he won the Battle of Los Angeles tournament back in 2015 for PWG. I was very disappointed that he didn't want to sign with WWE after the Cruiserweight Classic. That's why rumor has it that he was slated to win that, and they went in the other direction because Zack didn't want to sign a contract with WWE, which I'm disappointed in. Maybe he'll change his mind down the road. We've had guys do that. Until then, I hope he keeps on doing for moderately big companies that we can go online and watch, get on Flow Slam and watch, Progress and other companies like that do their thing and get to see the technical wizard doing what he does best.
Number 2, Ricochet.
The Future of Flight is one of the most decorated men in independent wrestling today. Uh, During his time in Dragon Gate and Dragon Gate USA, he held almost every title they offer. Over in New Japan, he's been a junior tag champ as well as a never openweight 6-man tag champ. He was Lucha Underground's inaugural champion as Prince Puma. And at Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, he was their Battle of Los Angeles winner in 2014. A lot of speculation that he's on the short list to join the Cruiserweight Classic this upcoming year, seeing as he didn't renew his contract with Lucha Underground or AAA. And I'm one of the many that will be excited to see him, come to the big stage. They call him the Future of Flight for a reason. He does things in the ring that no one else can do or would even think of attempting. He's the best high flyer in the business today and just a joy to watch. And before we get to my number 1 pick, I'm going to hit you up with some honorable mentions.
Eddie Kingston, Joe Hendry, Will Ospreay. Number 1, Joey Ryan.
The King of Sleaze is the most viral superstar in wrestling today. But if all you know of him is his viral videos, you are missing a lot. He's co-founder of Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. He was one of the lead bookers in Championship Wrestling from Hollywood back in 2011. And he's had chances with so many companies. Currently working for Lucha Underground. And I know a lot of people think that storyline with him being an undercover cop and then turn out he's kind of dirty. He's, let Dario know he's undercover and he's taking money and all that. But I'm thoroughly entertained by that. And he is an really good worker in the ring. He has had chances with companies in the past, but I think that the character doesn't really, make it in today's PG era. Imagine that character during the Attitude Era, though. He would have been golden. So I always tell people, anybody that's like, oh, the Attitude, I miss the Attitude Era. It's like, find a Joey Ryan match. Watch Joey Ryan. He is, he would have fit in so well with that. That character would have just, made it. So I love Joey. I love watching his matches. I always hope that one of these days he will get with the big major companies. He's going to have to tone down the act, but the wrestling is solid and he's got a good mind for the business. So that's why Joey Ryan is my favorite independent wrestler. So there you have it, my top 10 favorite independent wrestlers. Tell me who your favorites are in the comments section below. Don't forget to give this video the old thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you like the show, go over to facebook.com/thefamily1kickout. Like the page over there. You can follow me on Twitter at Festus74. And join me next time when I'll be giving you my predictions for the upcoming NXT TakeOver San Antonio special. And until then, just remember, when life has you pinned, always kick out.